Hello everyone and welcome back to Minecraft. I did say I was gonna do this last night, and I did state that. So now that we've done, hold on, I need everything to stop. Also hear dogs barking in the background. I apologize. Anyway, as I said, I'm going to do like the old school version of of this. Also, yes, I'm gonna be sitting here and looking at the TV. Because that's what this is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a TV, but we're just gonna make it flat screen because I did not make this house wide enough. From what I remember, it was supposed to be 4 blocks, then glass, and then another 4 blocks. However, I did not think this through, so I guess we're just gonna be going like this. So we're gonna finish up the bottom layer, and then we're gonna do the rest. Okay. So little thing is that I keep getting sad over things that I shouldn't really be sad about, and it's kind of dumb that I'm sad about them. But the thing is, it's more because I feel like I missed out on something, and it's always like with stuff that what's called. The fuck was I doing? Oh wait, miscellaneous non-blocks. Here we go. So I just need 2 of these. No, make that 3. Oh wait, give me a second. Hold on. There. Also, we don't need this. We don't need this. Hold on. No, fine. I'll just eat it. Fine, I'll just eat it. Let's put this stuff away. I'm gonna throw this into like I'll throw this into like the composter. So today I'm just going to be I'm just gonna be just finishing up the house. We're gonna see if we can finish the house today. I might make an expansion on it, who knows, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, so miscellaneous non-blocks, and I'm gonna take that, and that. Hey, we're clearing out this chest quite a bit. You know, we are clearing out this chest. I do say we a lot, even though I'm the only one here. So there's I mentioned before on why I've done this, is why I've started this channel. And at first it was because, well, I wanted okay. At first it was because, well, I wanted to make a living off of it. I wanted to make money off of it. But over time I've realized that like I can do that, but also another thing I can do is okay, so congratulations everyone. It is now, how the fuck do you get, okay, it's control. Okay, I forgot. So there we go. Seating. Okay. Yeah, but then I thought to myself, why would I do that if I still want to make a living off of this. I still want to make this into a career, but shit, did I make this thing uneven? Wait, no, we're keeping that the way it is. I thought that was being ingenious. But then I thought to myself, why not make people happy with this? And I thought to myself a lot on that, and I thought, why not do what those Minecraft YouTubers when I was a kid would always do? Stampy Cat, Technoblade, and Dan Diamond Minecart. there were several other ones as well, but those are three main ones that I'm thinking of right now. There were several other things. I think Sky Does Minecraft was another one. Yeah, Sky Does Minecraft was another one. There was another specific one. I don't know why, but for some reason I was like he something about butter. Something about butter is is the thing that I remember him by. Yeah, but Technoblade was not really one that I really watched a lot. Actually, I don't think I ever really watched him. I think I tried watching one of his videos, but it was one of those videos where at the time when I found out about Technoblade, I thought I was kind of like in that state where I was finding like a lot of channels that I really did not like at the time. And so I would try and steer clear of them. However, when I first saw his channel, honestly, what I thought to myself, and I thought, wow, this really isn't that good, because I was kind of like jaded by all the other channels that I would find that weren't really that good. And so I just decided I didn't want to watch it. I decided I didn't want to watch any of it. And that ended up being a bad idea, because a lot of people ended up liking him a lot. And there are several others. There are many others that are good. That are good. What's it called? Good channels, good Minecraft channels, and all that stuff. But wait, didn't I? Oh no, I had 20. Never mind. There were good Minecraft channels, and but Technoblade was like, I think the one that like influenced a lot, and like at one point he even made an appearance in a Minecraft movie. I don't know about the other ones. I haven't seen the Minecraft movie yet, but I've seen that meme a lot, and I think to myself, I missed out on a lot, because I did watch a video of his, but didn't watch like a few seconds of it before I decided. It was like a minute of it, not a few seconds, like a minute of it before I decided, yeah, this is not really fun at all. But then the first ever video that I fully watched all the way through was the video of him like where he's saying that he's already dead, and explaining on how much he liked this how much he loves doing this as a job. And honestly, when I first saw that, I honestly felt, well, sad, but also a lot more guilty for not really watching something that I should have watched. And yes, nowadays I could watch it, but the problem with, if I were to watch it nowadays, is it would not hit the same as if it did if I watched it when I was a kid. And that's one of the reasons why I don't watch a lot of stuff that I didn't really watch when I was a kid. Fuck, I pressed the wrong button. I didn't click out of the game. I just pressed the Windows button. And that's the problem, is that there was a lot of stuff that I didn't watch when I was a kid that I could watch right now, but I just feel guilty watching it, because it's not gonna hit the same way as it did when I was a kid. Also, not to mention that some of the stuff that I watch that I could theoretically watch nowadays, I wasn't allowed to watch when I was a kid, I would not be able to watch, because I would just get some weird looks, like asking, why are you watching a kid's show, or something like that. But then I started thinking to myself about a lot of stuff, and one of them is, and yes, I'm eating the spider eye because I don't want to go all the way down there. One of them is, when you're a kid and you think that there's something that's like, because for some reason when you're a kid you think that you need to grow up, and the reason for that is not even your fault. I talk about this all the time, where you shouldn't be growing up extremely fast. You should take your time and be a kid for as long as you want, not as long as you want, but as long as you can. Okay, let's we need to start chopping down some more trees, but as long as you can. And reason for this being is because when you're an adult, you're gonna have the same exact thing that I'm describing right now, where now you're looking at other people, you're looking at something that you saw when you were a kid, but you cannot bring yourself to do it now. There's a lot of there was this meme a long time ago where I don't know if you guys have seen it, but or you've seen, I'm sure you guys have seen a variation of this meme where it's a bunch of people like laughing, and then the first panel is a bunch of people laughing, and the next panel is like a person on, like, I think it was like Peppa the Frog on the ground, and he's crying, and he has, yes.
I need to talk to you for a minute.
Yes.
Sammy, I said some things to that lady when she came to service for Mom and I think I mentioned that you wanted to become a servant. I heard that you were upset about that, and I wanted to say that I'm sorry that I did that. I went through it, but I couldn't contain my pride, and I wanted to help you and stuff. Yes, I'm sorry that I'm there.
I need to learn. It's because I need to still learn the menu.
Why? Hope I didn't make things mess up.
No, it didn't mess things up.
How did it get back to you?
What?
How did it get back to you?
She told me about it.
What did she say?
She said, "Did you tell your?" She said, "Did you ask your parents to do that?" And I was like, "No. Sometimes they do this."
What did she say?
She said, "It's fine. It's fine. It's just kind of weird that it happened." Anyway, as I was saying, um, as I was saying, there's a lot of things that you will do when you're a kid, and you think that you have to grow up and you cannot be dealing with all this childish stuff right now. And I may say this because apparently a lot of my audience apparently are children, so I'm trying to give some advice to them. All right, so when you're a kid, you think to yourself, you see something that's childish, and you think to yourself, "Oh, I need to act more grown up." And it's not even your fault why you think you need to act more grown up. The reason why you think this is because you're told this, that you must grow up, you must stop acting like a child, you must act more mature. And yes, once again, I'm eating the spider eyes. I do not care. I'm gonna eat them until they're gone. But you're constantly taught this. We're all taught this throughout all of our lives, that we must what's called, we must grow up. We must not stay a child. We must start what's called must start acting like adults. But the problem with that is that there are some people that honestly do not like explain it to enough. Anyway, what am I doing? Oh yeah, I need to chop some trees down. They don't explain it to the point where you would understand this as a kid. And yes, you should grow up, but you should still keep that child innocence with you as you're growing up for as long as you can. That the child like I want to go and have fun and type stuff. Like I want to enjoy things more. Or you shouldn't keep that for as long as you can, because that's gonna, because the way how people are teaching nowadays, and the way how school, it's not even just, it's like it's school as well, and and the way how adults talk to kids nowadays doesn't really allow that as much. It's usually just like, you must grow up. You should stop enjoying. You should stop like indulging yourself in all this childlike activity. Yeah, what you should be doing is acting more grown up and acting more like you should. Actually, I think I should put this here because I don't want things falling in by accident. And you should act more grown up and have less fun. But in reality, you should have as much fun as you want. You should have as much fun as you want, actually. 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4. Okay, so 1. Okay, so we'll do that. It's gonna look slightly. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. I need to make stairs. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. You know, I should probably put some crafting tables in here, but that's the thing. Like, then you end up growing up, and let's say that you listen to, let's say that you do that, you do exactly what you've been told to do all your life, and grow up as fast as everyone says to. You grow up, you go through your entire life, you don't enjoy your childhood, you go through your entire life believing that you must not have fun, and you must grow up and work hard until you are old, until you have gotten everything figured out and are allowed to have fun. All right, you work hard. Okay, now here you are, you're finally allowed to retire, where it's finally acceptable for you to be lazy. By society, it's finally acceptable for you to be lazy, because you have worked hard all your life, and now you have retired. You're old now. You no longer have to work. And you think, oh, I can now do everything that I want to do as a kid. But the problem is that now that you're a lot older, you can no longer do any of that, because why would a grown man want to indulge in such childlike activities such as that? Why would they do that? Huh? For what purpose would they have to do that? And that's the problem. That's what a lot of people that's how a lot of this goes, is simply because when you, after a certain point in your age, wait, 1 2 3 4, certain point in your age, there's a certain point in life where people will no longer be like, oh, I want to continue doing this. I want to continue doing this. I want to keep this energy going. And all it is now is just everyone just thinking to themselves, I can no longer do this because that's immature. That's immature. I'm older now. I'm better now. I cannot do that. And here you are, and now you look at kids that are being told the same thing, but they're not listening, and you see a lot of people having fun, and you're thinking to yourself, where was all this stuff where was all this fun when I was a kid? And the hard truth is that fun that you are seeing a bunch of people have now, and you're wondering where that was when you were a kid, the hard truth is that all that fun was there. You just didn't pay attention to it. You just didn't stop to live a little and have some fun. But what you did was just you stayed where you are and just kept on living with only work, not having fun, and just didn't appreciate what you had. You just kept on working and did what everyone else said and lived life the way how everyone else said that you must live life. And you didn't live life the way you wanted to live it. You lived it through the way how everyone else did. You lived how everyone else wanted it. Everyone else wanted you to live it. You didn't live it the way you wanted to. You lived it the way how other people want you to do it. And the sad part is the reason why people tell you how you're supposed to live your life is a lot of times it's because they didn't get to live their life the way how they wanted to, and they want other people to suffer the same way. And that's a kind of a sad thing, is that people think, oh, I didn't get to live my life the way how I wanted to, so therefore that's how it's supposed to be. Everyone else must suffer as well. In reality, no, that's not how it's supposed to be. Everyone's supposed to live their life differently. You know, the age-old saying is, an age-old question, what is the meaning to life? And honestly, I don't think I found it, but I think I found an answer that may keep... I found an answer. I don't think I found the answer, but I found a answer. a answer that would hopefully keep people happy for a little bit. Because that's the thing, people won't stay happy for long. People will always will be happy, but then the joy will often go away, and then you'll try and find more stuff to be happy with, and that's just how things are. You can't really just stay on the same happiness train forever. The train will one day come to a stop, and you must accept it that way. 1, 2, 3, 4. You must just, and that's just the way it is. The happiness train will always come to a stop. But it doesn't mean that it's gonna be gone forever. The train of happiness, you must get off at one point. You must get off the ride. It's like, think of it like a roller coaster. Roller coaster, you must get off the ride, because the ride will come to an end, and that joy, and you'll be having fun all that for a long time, but then for that short amount of time, but then that ride will come to an end, and then you feel sad again. But luckily for you, you're at an amusement park where there's a bunch of roller coasters. So you go on that ride and it's really fun, and you're like, yay, I'm having so much fun. It's scary, but I'm having fun. But then it comes to a stop and you think, oh, it's over now? Oh. But either you can get on that ride again, but here's the thing, you could either get on that ride again or go find one that's even more fun. Nah, that's the thing. That happiness ride, just because it's over does not mean it's gonna be gone forever. You can try and go on it again, but there is a certain point where you will have to get off. You will have to get off, and yeah, sometimes you're gonna be sad for a long time, and because, well, much like a roller coaster, there is a wait. Sometimes there is a wait. You do have to stand in line, but then you're slightly happy again because, well, you're anticipating going on that same ride that you had so much fun on. Happiness is like a roller coaster. There's some parts that are scary. In the end, but then it does end after a while. But even when it does end, you can either just get on that ride. You can either get on that ride of happiness again, or you can you can go and enjoy another one. But the thing is, anyway, as I was saying, there's an age-old question saying, what is the meaning of life? And honestly, well, I don't know it, I do have an answer for it. And the answer that I have, it won't be the answer. It's not the answer. But as I said, it's an answer. But the thing is, everyone's always asking, what is the meaning to life? And I don't think there is a single the meaning to life. I think that there is a meaning to life. And I mean, there's not a single specific, but I would ask I wouldn't ask what is the means to life, what is a means to life. Like, that would indicate that there is more meanings, because whoever said that there would be one singular meaning? Nah. Because if you go and ask around, everyone has a different meaning to it. Everyone will always have like a different look, a different meaning, and honestly, I don't think that there is a specific one set meaning to it. It's like purpose of life. I would argue just to live it and have fun and just make the most of it. But the meaning to it specifically, I would say that there's not one specific one. I would say that that everyone has a different meaning. Like, whatever your passion is, what makes you happy, I would argue saying that there you go, that is yours. That is your meaning. It's not, your purpose is to live your life and make the most of it, be happy. But like whatever your like passion is, what you love to do, I would say that would be your meaning. That would be what you were on this earth to do. Because everyone has like a different thing. There's a lot of people saying that there is no meaning to life, but when have you ever heard a person that has found their purpose, that has found happiness, say that there is no meaning to life? When have you ever heard someone that has said that? You only get one, so make the most of it. whenever I go on vacation, there's a lot of things where I don't want to do. For example, one time, like a long time ago, I made a video where I went to Hawaii. Went to Hawaii and I had some fun there. But the thing is, every time, when problem that I have is think of life as a vacation. You don't know, there's a lot of stuff that you don't want to do, but you can do it anyway, because sometimes you don't know, like your friends will ask you, hey, you want to come with us to go and see, like, go to like the flea market or something like that, or something like that. You think to yourself, I don't want to go. When I went to church last Sunday, the church group was afterwards, they were like, hey, you guys want to go to the flea market afterwards? And I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to go, but I'll go anyway. Why not? I'll go anyway. And the reason being that I didn't want to go is because I kind of wanted to just come home and just stream here and just be like, yeah, I can just be with my audience. But then I thought to myself, this could be like the gun show that they asked that I missed out on, because there was a certain point where they went to a gun show, and I missed out on that because I was like, I gotta go home and be with my friends, and I gotta do that, and I chose the wrong option for that, because when I came back, when I went to Bible study the next week, they were talking about how great the gun show that they went to was. They're talking about all of that stuff and how amazing it was. And that I should have gone. And I'm thinking to myself, I missed out. I told them I wasn't going to be able to go because I had plans with my friends, and that we were going to do the payday on GTA. And I was thinking all of this stuff, and I was thinking, we're gonna do this. We finally got to a point where we are able to all be here. But then we ended up not really being able to do a lot of it because, well, we all have lives outside of this. I have work, but I'm also thinking about maybe starting up an Etsy, so that way I can start streaming, selling some products that I got. But the thing is that but when I came in, I thought to myself, I give up. I can no longer keep on doing this where I'm like, I keep telling them I can't hang out with them because my friends and I have plans. But then here we are. But then all of a sudden what happens is that here we are with the friends, and we don't really get to do what we planned on doing. So I was like, you know what? No, I give up. I'm going to I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna hang out with them, and I'm gonna go and have fun. And every time I think to myself, I don't want to go. I don't want to go because, well, I can be at home doing this with you guys. But sometimes this could be extremely boring, even to me. And so I just think to myself, you know what? Let me just go and be with them, see what fun we can have. They ask if I can go with them to the flea market. I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to do that, but I'm gonna go anyway, because why not? That would who knows, it can be fun. So I do that. I go with them, and I actually end up having a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with them. There's a lot of things in life that you don't want to do, but think to yourself, like, you don't want to go out, you don't want to do stuff. There's certain things that you don't want to do, But then, if you think about it, you might like doing it. You might like it. You might really like it, actually. You might really like when going out with your friends. Like, because what happened was that we went to the flea market and I really liked it. But before that, we went and had some pizza back at one of their apartments. And honestly, that was the first time, like, because when I hang out with my friends online, and right, I hang out with them. The guys that you see me with online, you guys, I hang out with them, but my friend Mike in real life, who I've known since junior of high school, like the only time I really hang out with him is either at work I drive him, or at work I drive him home, or we when we're online, or when we're watching a movie, which all of those we don't really, either one of those we're not really in person for, and the other we're not really able to talk with each other too much because, well, we're at work, and we have different things of which we need to do. Well, I'm a dishwasher, he's a busser, or I'm largely in the back, he's largely in the front. I do come to talk to him, but really, when do I ever really sit down and really talk with and really have a nice chat with him? Not really a lot, because a lot of the chat is like about the games. But when I was with that college group, I thought to myself, this is what hanging out with people is like. I had forgotten, because I hadn't really hung out with a group of people since, like, I can't really say junior year of high school. Since like sophomore year. I hadn't really but actually even then I was largely on my computer back then, so if I think really way back, the last time I really hung out with people was 8th grade in middle school. 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and that was, and 8th grade was like 2014, 2015. No, it was like 2016 and 2017. That was like, that was 9 years ago. So for 9 years, I hadn't really hung out with people. Hadn't really like sat down and had like a nice chat with a group of people. I just largely just would be by myself and just not do anything. But after, and I'm glad I joined this college group, because honestly, because that felt really nice to be there and hang out with people. I know there are a lot of people who are introverts who will look at this and be like, "Oh wow, this guy is just trying to insert like bullshit here." I don't know. Well, anyway, I need to make sure that they're okay. So it's these 4 right here. I'm gonna put. Actually, let me put some dirt blocks down. I'll put the dirt blocks down in order to indicate, hey, this is the middle right here. Right here is the exact middle. This is the middle. The reason why, because I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna put a little garden. 7, 8, 9. So right here, that's how it's gonna be. Well, I'm gonna do this. I'll put like a little like farm all around, and it's gonna be luxurious. But that was like And no, I'm not trying to like shove religion down people's throats, but I feel like that ever since I like started going to college groups, like it's called college group, but it's Bible study. I felt like ever since I started going to Bible study, things have just felt less sad and more simple, and things just felt better. Things no longer felt like things just started feeling more like I can stay in one place. I can live a little instead of just like constantly having to move around, where I can no longer just have to stay in one place and I can just do one thing over and over again. It like I can move around more. I can enjoy stuff more. And honestly, that's what I would say to a lot of people, is that like, even if you don't want to, if you're like the type of person where your social battery just goes down, like when you're talking to people, I would recommend trying it. Like try talking to people. I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, every Friday night just go out with your extroverted friends to go out partying with them against their will. Well, no, what I'm saying is try extending your social battery. Like because I think honestly, because a lot of times I don't think that people are giving their social battery really a chance to get stronger. I feel like that that a lot of people are like just like have their social battery set at like one point, and then just be like, oh well, I guess I can't do this now because my social battery is down. But unlike an actual battery in real life, that's like rechargeable and only has a set amount of like charge on it, a social battery is a lot like muscles. If you train it, you become more it can become stronger. It can last longer. So even if you don't like it, just little by little try and see if you can get your social battery to just get a little bit stronger. Like even if talking to people, like talk to people that you're more comfortable with, okay? Try that. Try talking to people you're more comfortable with. Because that honestly would help strengthen your social battery. But not only that, like it might give you like the impression of maybe I should talk to more people. Maybe I should start talking to strangers. Maybe try and strike up a conversation and all that stuff. Maybe that. However, I'm not. However, people are gonna look at this and just think to themselves, "Wow, this person's really trying to like shove his beliefs down our throats." No, I don't really care if you like talking to people or not. I'm just saying you don't have to do any of this. You don't have to do any of what I'm telling you that you should do. You don't have to. I'm saying that it would be a good idea to do it, and that you should try it at least a little bit. But what I'm more of saying is just I'm not forcing anybody to do anything. What I'm doing is I'm trying to just get people to probably get out of their bubble, live a little bit, because as I stated a bit ago, you're gonna live your life. You're in just like one place. You're not gonna have a lot of fun. You're just gonna think to yourself, "Oh, this is how things are. This is how things are. I must do this. I can't move from this exact spot. I have to do exactly this for the rest of my life." And meanwhile, Meanwhile, everyone else is having fun, and then finally you get to the point in your life where you can finally like sit down and relax, because now that you're retired, you're now, well, you no longer have to work, and you can now relax, and you look and you're like, well, I can't do any of that stuff now, and you're thinking to yourself, why couldn't I do it when I was a kid? And the answer is you could have, you just chose not to, because you lived your life the way how other people told you that you should live it. You didn't live it how you wanted to, you lived it how someone else wanted you to do it. Which kind of brings me to another thing. In a lot of movies, you'll see like a bunch of people, well, you'll see like the main character kind of feel like they're trapped in like their family, because their family has a certain tradition that they must not do something, or that it must be done in a certain way. Like, okay, let's use an example. What's a good example? Oh yeah, the movie Book of Life. The main character Manolo, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing his name wrong, but he wants to sing. He wants to play his guitar. He wants to be a musician. He wants to sing, but he doesn't, and that's his passion, but his dad wants him to be a bullfighter. And why? Because that's their legacy. That's his family's legacy. Their last name is Sanchez, and that's the Sanchez legacy in that story. It's their tradition. But here we have the main character Manolo, who doesn't, and once again, I apologize to anyone if I'm pronouncing the name wrong, but just bear with me throughout the story, okay? But he doesn't. But seriously, watch the movie Book of Life. It's a good movie. But he doesn't want to do that. He wants to break the tradition. He wants to do his own thing. He doesn't want to do what his family wants him to do. He wants to do his own thing. And there's a certain point when he like enters the afterlife where he meets a certain member of his family who was specifically famous for fighting a bull with only one arm and one leg. And he said, and that family member says, what I really want to do is I want to sing opera. I want to perform. I didn't want to do any of this. I didn't want to be a bullfighter. I wanted to do all this, but no, I was told that I must be a bullfighter. And then he and the main character both quote the same thing that they have been told all their lives, that like something along the lines of, it is the blood of the Sanchez to be a bullfighter. It is tradition. They must not break it. Which brings me to something that if you, and there's another version of this, not the same exact thing, but there's another version of like, I don't want this tradition to die, I want to keep this tradition alive. It is in the movie Klaus, and the two families that hate each other, are like, our ancestors demands that we keep this tradition alive. When in reality, I don't think that they do, because there's a certain point where they're like, yes, this tradition has gone back all the way back to the Stone Age, when both families have hated each other, and then someone asks why, and it's like, because it's tradition. That's not the answer to the question. Why were they fighting in the first place? Which is what I want to know, but which the kid has. But the thing is, about what a lot of people don't know about tradition is that traditions, like almost everything else, is allowed to die. They are allowed to die. It is okay for a tradition to die out, because people always say you can't just make a new tradition. Yes, you can. How do you think that tradition was made? It wasn't there since the dawn of man. No, it was created. There's a certain traditions are created. They're not born. They're not just born out of thin air. No, they are created by people. People are what make traditions. And people are also what make it so that you are allowed to break the traditions as well. You don't have to just stay on that one tradition. If you don't like a tradition, then you are allowed to break it. Yeah, when you're a kid and you're with your family, yes, you may have to follow that tradition when you're a kid, but when you grow up and you move out, all of a sudden that I didn't have to make all of this. All of a sudden, you don't have to keep that tradition with you. Yes, I know family is important, and that if it's a family tradition, then yeah, keep it alive. But some traditions can die out. That's what I'm saying, is that you don't have to keep the same tradition over and over again. You are allowed to do your own thing. You can make your own tradition. Like, for example, like my family used to have this tradition every single year, where every single year on Christmas Eve we would watch the movie Home Alone. That tradition died out. It went on for an entire decade before we just stopped doing it. And the reason why is because, well, it slowly died out because, well, we just kept on. We had work. I had work and I wasn't able to watch it, and it's supposed to be a family thing where all of us are supposed to watch it. So since one of us wasn't here, we just not watch it. Okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 times 2. 6 times 2 is 12. So 2, carry the 1. So 32. 14 times 2. 14 times 2. 4 times 2 is 8. 1 times 2 is 2. So 32 plus 28. So 2 plus 8 is 10. So 0, carry the 1. 33 plus 2 is 5 plus 1 is 60. So we need 60 of these logs. I need 60 logs. But that's a good example of a tradition that dies out. Yeah, we have another tradition where every Halloween we watch a horror movie. However, I don't really remember what the horror movie was that we watched last Halloween. I want to say it was Malignant, but I don't think we watched a horror movie this Halloween. I think, honestly, I don't remember. I can go and ask, but I don't think we watched a horror movie this Halloween. But that's another thing, is like traditions can be made. Traditions can die out. It's one of those things that things just don't last. Things don't last forever. Things can stay in one place. Things can move around. You don't have to you don't have to keep a tradition going just because just because it was around when you were a kid. You are allowed to make new ones. You're allowed to make new ones. You're allowed to do all this stuff. All right? You don't have to just stay in one place. You're allowed to move around. You're allowed to break stuff. You're allowed to, it's like life. There's certain things that you're allowed to break, which, yeah, and certain things you're not allowed to break. There are things that, when you do break, you will get punished for it, and some things that you don't break, you might get praised for it. But who knows? But oftentimes people don't realize which ones you're allowed to break, and because the things that you're allowed to break, no one really tells you what you're allowed to do. Sometimes people don't tell you what you're allowed to do. They just tell you that you have to do something. And that's one of the most frustrating things about life, is that there are certain things that you don't know what to do. You just do it because you're told that you're supposed to do it. But you don't know why you're doing it. You just do it blindly. Which brings me to another thing where people get mad, like, if you question them, or they will tell you to do something, and you're like, okay, but why? And they will be like, why are you questioning me? Do you think I don't know what I'm doing? And it's like, don't question this person. They know what they're doing. Here's the thing. When people do that, that's like the type of person that's, like, they know, like, sometimes they know that they don't know what they're doing, but they get mad because since they're in a place of authority, since you decide to question them, and they're in a place of authority, they think that you are seeing right through their their mask of I know what I'm doing. But and so they try and make it so it looks like that you don't, so that you're the one who's in the wrong here, when in reality asking people like questioning people shouldn't be because you don't think you don't think they know what they're doing. Is because when it shouldn't be as an insult. I'm not questioning you because I don't think you don't know what you're doing, because not because I think you don't know what you're doing. No, I question you. Hey Glitch, how you doing? How you doing? But yeah, you don't. I'm not questioning you because I don't think you do. I don't think it's because I don't question you because I think you don't know what you're doing. No, I question you because I don't know what you're doing, and I would have like a better understanding. I would like to have a better understanding, but people will get offended by this. People will get mad and say, no, you're not allowed to know because. And this is and usually, you're just waking up. Nice. Yes, I kind of just woke up before the stream as well. But yeah, that's kind of like a telltale sign of, yeah, this person doesn't know what they're doing, because if they're getting offended by the fact that you want to know. Yes. Okay, because I do have work today.
When do you go in?
I'm supposed to be there at 4.
Okay, well, I want you to just, have you sent in that thing I told you?
No, but I did take the pictures.
Well, why don't you take 5 minutes and put aside what you're doing and when you are, just when you're done, and send in the pictures.
Okay.
And then we'll wait a half an hour and we'll call.
Okay.
But I want you to do that so we can get the ball rolling on that.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. But yeah, that's usually a telltale sign of they don't know what they're doing. If you ask them, may I ask why, and they say no, and they start getting defensive and say, why do you think I don't know what I'm doing? No, I just want, and you tell them, no, I just would like to have a better understanding of what you're doing, because I don't know what you're doing. I don't want to mess this up. But then all of a sudden they start getting defensive and say, no, that's for me to know and you to find out. And then, but what they don't realize is that is the thing that tells you, yep, this person doesn't know what they're doing. If they cannot give you a definitive answer of what is going on, or even give you a hint of what is going on, then there's a good chance that they don't even know what they're doing. There's a good chance that they're just using their authority just to boss you around, just to be like, yep, I'm your boss here. You do whatever the fuck I say. And these are usually people who where the power just went to their head. A lot of times there are people who are like, sometimes you often see this with managers, or you'll see this like with a boss. But oftentimes, like, they won't like, what they will do is they will just sit there, and since they're the boss, they think that they don't have to do any work. They think that that's left to the peasant folk of the employees that don't that are the ones who are paid to do all the work. And meanwhile the person that's the boss is over here like, yes, I don't have to do anything. I can just.
Sammy?
Yes.
Mail call.
I'm trying to keep my train of thought here. I'm honestly trying to keep my train of thought here. I'm on a roll. But what happened to, wait, no, Silk Touch is supposed to take that. What, wait, okay. Yeah, but this often happens with like people who are in like places of power who are like, yes, hold on, didn't I have one called Tools? Who just who like they think that since they are in the power, they don't have to do anything, any work. But then all of a sudden, when it's time for them to like show that they've done work, they try and take credit for like other people's work. But then they will get mad and try and like maybe like fire the person that did the actual work, when lo and behold, that thing that they stole and took credit for turned out to not be good. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm gonna do this to get 2 more. There we go. Which those people are usually the people that don't know what they're doing, but they try and like use their authority to assert that they do know what they're doing. Yet these are the same people that will run the company into the ground. They're the types of people, like a telltale sign of that if you're working for a company and they're gonna run into the ground and they're about to run to the ground, here's one that is a really good sign that they're about to run that the company is going to be run into the ground and fail, is if you go up to them and they're like, okay everyone, we're going to do this project here, and you come up to them and say, hey, I found this way that's a more efficient way to do things. It gets things faster, gets things done with gets better results with better accuracy, and we will have more time to do more work afterwards and get more stuff done afterwards. And the person in charge says, no, we're not going to do that, but this is a new way. Yeah, but this way that we're doing right now is the way how we've been doing it for years, so we're not going to do that. Which brings me back to tradition. Some people just don't want to let go of certain things because they think that it's more superior, because they don't see any other way to do stuff, so they only see just this one thing and they think that this is the only way. Meanwhile, there's like hundreds of other different paths that can get to places, even get to the destination even faster. It's like when you're taking a road trip and you're like, oh, I know this route, and so I'm just gonna go this route, but then someone's like, oh, what about this route? It's so much faster. Right. It's this route. It's so much faster. Well, this is the route I've been going on for a long time. But then again, the reverse can also be true, where once again, like, live your life a bit, have some fun, all of that stuff. There's this route that my dad likes to take whenever we're coming home from like the supermarket or something like that, and I personally don't. I see his logic in this, but I personally don't like the route because, well, I prefer to save gas, but it's like a dime. It's like 2 cents of gas that I'm wasting. It's 2 cents more of gas I'm wasting when I do it. But there's a certain route that my dad likes to take, and it's by a country club that I personally don't like going by, because this one, while it is like, I will go by a place that I've worked with before. This one put a bad taste in my mouth for lifeguarding, and it's the reason why I don't like going to pools anymore, because of, well, that specific reason. But I don't like going that way. But the other day I decided, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna take that route, and I realized it's a lot nicer route. It's really nice. I don't know why I haven't done it before. I don't know why I don't. I don't know why I don't go and do this. But that's the thing. Live a little. Go move in different places. Go different routes. Go different ways. Go to different places. Explore. Do all that stuff. Like, remember when you were like a kid and you had like all these questions for a lot of stuff, but then, like, throughout your life you were just told, stop asking stupid questions? I feel like that should not be a thing. Like, don't ask stupid questions. Which, honestly, like, you're told that throughout your entire life, but then you get into high school where you have at least one teacher that will do this, or like a lot of teachers will say this: there are no such things as stupid questions. But I feel like that saying there are no such thing as stupid questions, honestly, I feel like that like, saying that is a bit too late. You're saying that a bit too late for kids, because it's one of the reasons why kids don't want to ask questions. They don't want to raise their hands in class, It's one of the reasons why they think that they have to just sit in silence. It's like, now, anyone have any questions? And then there's that one kid who raises his hand, and everyone just looks at him like, oh, they're raising their hand, they're about to ask it, and they ask a dumb question. Like, this person asked a really dumb question. Let's make fun of them. And the reason why is because, like, throughout our lives, we're often, like, until we're like in high school, where asking dumb questions is more where that's more accepted. Reason why we're all scared of that is because up until then we are told, don't ask stupid questions, mature, be grow up, learn from what I have to say. Don't like what I say is law. Do not try and think any differently, which from what I remember, isn't that part of a isn't that in a book? Wasn't that part of like a certain dystopian book that happened that took place in 1984? But then again, that's what's said with a lot of parents, is where they're like, no, do not question what I say. What I say is law. You must obey it all. Which, when you're human, you do. It's good to ask. It's good to ask questions. It's good to ask questions. It's good to learn, because when you're questioning stuff, you learn. But we have all these people that are like, no, you mustn't do that. You mustn't question. You must obey everything I say. And I'm like, you are not God. This is not something that you are not someone who I should just like blindly follow. I will question you along the way because I want to know. I don't understand this. I don't know what you're doing. And that's why I question you, because I don't know what you're doing. So that's the thing. Like, it's good to so everyone remember, those people that say don't ask stupid questions, don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. Ask all the dumb questions you want. Yes, there are some questions that are so stupid that you think that will make people be like, this person will not make it in life. But here's the thing. If there's a question that is dumb and you know it's stupid, ask it anyway. Even if you think that you know the answer to it, ask it anyway, because there's a good chance that someone in that class doesn't know that answer, and would very much like to know it, but they're too scared to ask. Did I do the math wrong? Oh, I did the math wrong. I should have just like from the inside ones. But don't be afraid to ask questions. All right, ask questions. All right, don't be that person. Don't be the person who's like sitting there way too scared to ask. Don't be the one that someone. Don't be the person that's waiting for someone else to ask. No, be the person that asks the question. Be the person that asks the dumb question. All right. Because people, yeah, sure, you may get made fun of, but hey, think of it this way. Motherfucker. I didn't realize how this looked until right now. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. That's fine. But yeah, be that person. Be that person to ask the questions. Be the one who asks the dumb questions. You may get made fun of, but people are secretly happy that you asked the question because there's a good chance that they didn't know it either. Best viewers on streambrew.com. Remove the space. But yeah, just do that. Be that person. They always say that heroes don't wear capes and that heroes come in different shapes and sizes. That's one of them. Alright? A hero could be that one person that maybe like if you forgot to do your homework and that one person lets you cheat off of them, then yeah, that's a hero. here, however, don't be that person that's always like, oh, I forgot to do my homework. Can I cheat off of you? Don't be that person. All right. Be the person that's be the person that if you're in school, do your homework. All right. I personally don't like homework. Okay. You know, homework was created by an Italian teacher who used it as a punishment for kids who were not behaving. However, nowadays homework is now used as not even a reward. It's still kind of a punishment, but still you don't I know that you don't like it. I know that you hate it. But hey, do it anyway. Do it anyway, because I'd recommend because just do it anyway, because like school will not like it if you don't do it. So just do it anyway. Like it's one of those things where it's like you don't like doing it, but hey, you might actually have fun doing it. Remember like all the times where I didn't want to do mine. I just wanted to watch TV, but my parents said you can't watch it until you are done. And this is one of the reasons why I didn't watch a lot of, like, there's a lot of shows that I wasn't allowed to, didn't watch. Some of them I was allowed to watch, but some of them I wasn't able to watch it because I was way too stubborn as a kid to do my homework, because I wasn't allowed to go and watch any show until I was done with it. And so nowadays people don't have that problem because they have streaming. They have streaming. They have Netflix. They have Netflix, YouTube, Hulu. They have HBO Max, or it's just called Max now. There's Disney Plus. There's Peacock, Paramount. All of that stuff. There's all of this stuff that they have nowadays. But back then, some of the streaming services did not exist. Some of them did not exist. They or Tubi. Tubi is another one. Tubi is actually one of my favorite ones because unlike all the other ones that say that they're free, this one's actually free. But Tubi is another one that didn't exist back then. But I was way too stubborn to do anything. So I just ended up missing out on a lot because I was way too stubborn. I didn't get to watch a lot of shows, and now a lot of people are like, oh yeah, this was one of my favorite shows when I was a kid. I really like this. I don't understand why people couldn't have done this. And for me, that's why I didn't do it, because I was way too stubborn to do homework as a kid, and I couldn't understand why I was failing a lot, and that was the reason. So like, as much as I wish that homework did not exist, I'd still recommend just do it anyway. Do it anyway. Get it out of the way. Just get it out of the way. Do it anyway. It's fine. Do it while you're in school. Some classes won't allow you to do that, but do it when you're at lunch, or when you're waiting for your parents to come and pick you up, or when you're waiting for the bus. Just do that. Do it on the bus ride home. Do it on the ride home. Do it immediately when you get home. When you have free time in class, just do that. So that way, when you get home, you can hop on, play games, do all that stuff. Just do all that stuff. But okay. So now I'm working on the roof. I'm running out of things to talk about, so I'm gonna end stream here. But I'm gonna thank you guys for watching, and as I stated, I'm trying to give advice to people. Well, and I thought to myself at one point, before I end this, I'm gonna give you guys a little story. I thought to myself at one point, maybe I'm not gaining popularity a lot because I'm not as like chaotic and all that, and I'm not as I don't have the same energy as like those big streamers that you see out there, and those like YouTubers that we saw when we were kids. And I think to myself, if that's gonna be the way it is, then so be it. I'd rather gain popularity through like giving advice and telling people that like how
like things that should like how things should be done is the way how either is like giving life advice to people. There's still stuff that I'm still learning to this day. Yeah, I'm still learning stuff. There's still stuff in games I'm still learning. There's still stuff in life I'm still learning. But I'm giving advice based on the advice I have been given and the lessons that I have learned. If that's kind of what I want to do, because I want to tell people, hey, it's okay. Things get bad, but you can get through this. It seems bad now, and yes, it's gonna get a lot worse, but you can do this. You can get through it. It's like a maze. It's like a scary maze. You enter it, and things seem scary outside. You go inside, it gets so much worse, and it just continues to be bad throughout the entire way. And there's some times where you just feel like you're reaching a dead end, but you keep on going until finally you reach the end. When you look back at it, and you're scared throughout the entire way, and you look back at it, and you just think to yourself, maybe it wasn't so scary. Maybe it wasn't so bad. That's what I'm trying to tell people, is that you're one day you think that it's really bad right now. You think that everything is like scary and thinks that everything is hard. But then one day you're gonna get through all of it, and you can get through it. But one day you get through all of it, and you look back at it and you think, maybe it just wasn't so bad. Maybe I was overreacting a little bit. But anyway, I'm going to end the stream here. So thank you guys for watching. Share this with other people. Recommend this to other people. Join my Discord. Link is in the description. Join my Twitch. Link is also in the description. For Twitch, join my Discord. It's on my page. And join my Twitch. It's also on my page. So thank you guys for watching. That's going to be it. I'm going to see if I can play some Schedule 1 tonight. Maybe after work, which for me right now is currently 11:14. I get out at 10 o'clock tonight. Maybe I might get out a bit earlier, who knows. But yeah, I plan on playing some Schedule 1, so thank you guys for watching. Sure, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.